Nuke. It's the Sprouts map pick. It's one that NIP haven't really been looking too solid on recently, and it's one where Sprout will look to get map number 1 under their belt. NIP will be starting on the defensive side, Sprout over on the T side.
Sprout have had a really good win percentage on this map recently. They've won every single time they played it in the last 3 months on 10 attempts. Let's see if they can do it against some high-level competition here in NIP, because Sprout are already rushing into the ramp, and that is a very quick kill.
Yeah, just charging on through. It's Twist trying to hold on. Swings that door open. He's going to be shutting down the bomb. DreamHack picked off. Twist with the headshot. A second kill collected for him. And now it's Spitty, Dennis, and Snatchy left in a 3 versus 4. NIP, they've had a little bit of early success with those kills coming through, but Dennis starts to fight back. Snatchy as well, following up for Sprout, and suddenly it's the T side with a man advantage, and NIP will have to pull off the retake with no utility and no kit.
Oh, Twist got those first 2 kills, but he can't connect onto Spitty. Hampers, oh no, finally connects that kill. Took him some time, but Twist has also chimed in. And now it's up to Dennis. This man has a lot of experience under his belt. He comes in, burst fire on the first kill, and now he just fades away. The time is so low on that bomb, and Dennis knows it. He can go back. He can buy even more time. Opens that door, and that's the round 1. There's no time for the defuse. Hampus may get the kill, but it's inconsequential. Sprout pick up the pistol.
Yeah, Sprout finding a scrappy pistol win. They'll be happy enough with getting that under their belt. And we take one look at what NIP have available to them in this round. They might go for this Deagle purchase. You didn't see any purchases come in before we went to the replay, so I'm assuming it is going to be the Force Buy. And it's Twist with the FAMAS, the Deagle out for Rez. It's a bit of a half in, half out approach here. You've got a couple of players that went for the full investment, and Plopsky, Nuke, and Rez have stuck with a grand in the bank.
Ooh, Hampus not quite connecting on these scout shots. Smoke's down, but NIP haven't seen if anyone's crossed, so that's something they have to be scared of, and Nuke is just going to be forced out of position, having to rotate away. Sprout getting straight down that ramp again, and they should be able to get towards this B-bomb site pretty easily. Only Twist here, and as soon as he goes down, that's probably the round.
Well, Plopsky trying to spam through the smoke. A couple of kills available then behind the smoke, but he will not spot the players. And now Sprout hold the man advantage into this round. They just sit back, taking a couple of fights onto Rez. You don't want to give this Deagle anything. We know how good Rez can be on the hand cannon. We know how capable he is at pulling off some ridiculous shots. And there's one on the Spitty. These rounds, I never feel comfortable in, Alex. I always going into them, I always fear for the team that's just got the piss around win. It's all that hard work in the first round, and there's a chance that the team will come back swinging and shut all your hard work away. Luckily for Sprout, they will be walking away with the round win. They will lose a couple of players, and Nuke will look to try and recover right full, but Snatchy on the Mac 10, capable of taking Nuke away. And it's Hampus, the only player surviving for NIP. Sprout will win the second round, and they should be going on to win a few more here. NIP, they can go for the Deagles again. But we are looking at pretty much an identical round from the previous. This time is just Plopsky and Nuke on the Deagles instead of Rez and Twist. So you've got everybody on the Deagles now. This is a chance for NIP.
Yeah, they can definitely do even more damage here. Keep that T economy weak, especially with Plopsky landing some body shots like that. Good kill early into the round. He's going to try and go aggressive as well. He wants that gun, but it's not there for him. Dennis, oh, he gets that kill with the nade. Nicely done to deal with Rez. So a 1-for-1 trade after the early fights go down. And Sprout at this point, I think, will just want to keep their range, keep their map control, hold back and wait patiently, because NIP may be looking to make a play.
I don't think it's just a looking to. I think they need to at this point. Nuke in behind. DreamHack. Oh, he walks into the crosshair. 1 for Nuke. Spitty quick to answer back, though. And now a 3 versus 3. It's Sprout finding the follow-up kills. And Twist and Plopsky, the last 2 remaining players. And Snatchy with a headshot. Twist will fall victim to the AK-47. At least Plopsky alone in a 1 versus 3. 45 seconds for him to find something. Like you said, this round, we never really came into it with the expectation of NIP finding any round success. It was all based on whether or not they could do damage and inflict casualties upon Sprout. They have managed to pick up 2 players, And when you take a look at Sprout's money, it's not exactly in the best position. Any player dropped is a big problem for the team, and Plopsky could find a couple more.
Ooh, the close range D doing the damage to the body. Only 2 body shots required. He may not be ready for this man up close though. Plopsky, oh, he almost snuck in there, but Dennis catches him in the side. Sprout with a 3-0 lead, but another fairly costly round for them. They're going to have to rebuy across the board. And early into this game, Sprout have been focusing on that ramp room pretty heavily. I think this is where we see that change. They've got the full set of nades. Thinking back to some of their games at Cologne on this map as well, where they were able to beat Big, they were able to beat OG. I think they really like to go for those outside smokes a lot of the time, and we're seeing that right away at the start of this round.
Ooh, well, that's a nice kill from Twist on a DreamHack. That'll open things up for NIP, who haven't got off the most fantastic of starts. Sprout will be sending a little bit of presence towards outside. You take a look at this game. It's the last day of the groups. When you look at the format, it's quite forgiving in terms of having the lower bracket available. And I've seen a lot of teams kind of fearing for their life. Perhaps these two teams, a few of them don't really realize what happens after this match. So we're going to see a lot of pressure on this matchup for a lot of these teams, and specifically Sprout and the NIP in this decided matchup. Maybe putting some pressure on themselves, especially to get that better seeding moving forward in this tournament. We know how many deadly teams are here. So the lower the seed, the more difficult it's going to be, because you look at Group A, for instance, how many good teams are in there? It's ridiculous. So yeah, you want to get the best seeding possible.
Absolutely an important factor for both of these squads. 40 seconds left, and Nuke is open on the A site right now. If there are some nades used well by Sprout, if they can blind him early, that could help them. But Snatchy's just got the kill straight up with the AWP. They molly out that first position. Nuke unable to land these shots. A couple of Sprout players getting down the vents with 25 seconds left. They're going to be.
Well, charging on through Dennis. He's successful in picking up Twist. Now Hampus is trying to try and patch up a couple of holes. And, well, he's managed 1 kill, but the bomb is crossed over, and Snatchy covers the fallback of his teammate, taking a very important frag. And now it is just Plopsky with absolutely no chance in this round. No chance in hell that he'll be able to do anything into this round. So Sprout will be adding forward to the tally. And this is a good start for Sprout. They needed to get off to a good start, I feel like, just to kind of regain some of the confidence, some of the momentum they had from their previous wins. I think yesterday was a bit of a letdown for the Sprout team. They're not going to be too happy about it. It's all about remembering back to day one, realizing they have the players to be able to take down NIP 2-0. Different look at the map pool at the moment, and Plopsky has just spotted it up. He'll take that. 3 into the next round. Look at the money from NIP though, Alex. You have another scenario here where they can buy around this AWP, and I think saving that AWP may pose a few more questions, whether or not they would like to invest around it. And I like this call. They're not fully investing, but they're getting enough to make the round potent.
Definitely the right decision, I think. Just get the half buy. You need to get a gun round out soon. They had that gun round just then, but Sprout did a really nice job at winning a round where they didn't really have to use that many nades to get them into position. They just snuck down the vent. I think that was a nice call from Sprout to get that first round win. And Dennis looking sharp today, almost a 3K. Rez stuck in this corner. He should get this.
Yeah, there it is. Ready for Rez. What a fantastic start from Dennis. He'll be very happy with that. You get another one here. Finally, take it away. It's Plopsky on the MP9. Trying to source a different position. An AK-47 now picked up. That's an AWP, an AK, and a missed shot from Nuke. Keeps wanting to take this fight. He needs to be careful, though. Look who is behind him. DreamHack at the ready with the headshot. That's the AWP gone. And now it is just Plopsky. He's up towards heaven. Under a minute left in play. And where will Plopsky go with the AK? He just sits tight. I think this is a decent spot to try and carry it into the next round. Well, what do you make of this Sprout team, Alex? You're coming into this this year. I don't really think the expectations were very high for Sprout, because they had just lost Searson. There's a lot of changes going on with this team, and the players brought in, I feel like it was a little bit underwhelming. I don't think many of us were expecting too much, but Plopsky, right back to that. He is Well, Spitty now drops down into the A site, fleeing the scene and getting back to lobby. And DreamHack was hot in his heels, but Klopski gets away. But back to the point at the start of the year, Sprout, obviously Big had gone through a lot of the changes. There was those rumors of a couple of players being removed from Big, Smuya, and Nex, obviously, taking a backseat. Keto and seriously move into the team. And obviously that's a big hit for Sprout. They lose a little bit of firepower, quite a bit, as we've now realized of how good Seriousn actually is. So now for the Sprout team, they had a rebuilding period, and bringing in the 2 poles, I don't know about you, Alex. I didn't really expect too much, mainly because Snatchy kind of disappointed me in his AGO and, well, towards the end of his AGO and his VP times. I didn't really expect too much from this team, but what a revelation DreamHack has been.
Absolutely, and they're going for a fast push onto the A site here. Sprout switching it up, going for a faster play in the gun round. It has been completely countered, though. Nip getting some good kills on the site hold. Klopski might be aware of Snatchy's position. Snatchy is actually going to catch him out. P250, shot to the head. Orp in his hands now for the 1v3 attempt, but he's not ready for that angle from Hampus. Nip finally with a round on the board. Yeah, Sprout definitely starting strong in this game. I think the exciting thing about this game for me is that Dennis has had a really strong start. I think if he can get involved in some of these early kills, if he can look good individually, he could really get them into the rounds in the first place and help set up DreamHack for success. So I'm excited if Dennis can keep finding some kills. He's currently top of the board. We've got to see if that's going to continue now that we've got the gun rounds.
Yeah, the gun rounds, incredibly important. NIP needs to start winning rounds on the defensive side. Otherwise, they're going to let Sprout build up what will be a fantastic half out of the attacking side, the less favored side here on this map. And DreamHack, he's taking a good chunk down to 74. I have to say, I don't know who it was pointed out on the desk. They were saying how they were confusing DreamHack and Snatchy in appearance. It's kind of funny. Just got to look at it. It's not too far off, not too far wrong. Some similarities there. And well, Rez holding on. Favin will fall. Flashbang coming out from Rez, and well, he's under pressure. But Snatchy, I feel like he overcommits that. He kind of seen blood. He wanted that trade kill, and he just wasn't ready for Klopski.
Twist playing this committed angle, but he gets the first kill. Can't get away safely, though. Spitty with a nice shot, but Nuke with a nice shot of his own. So it's a 1v2 remaining for Spitty with the Deagle. Plopski is thinking of going aggressive. Oh, Spitty readjusts, almost gets that kill. Plopski realizes he's got to get away to safety. Still a chance here for Spitty. Sneaking towards the A site. He knows that Orp was towards Yard, and now he knows he's in a 1v1. Nork has dropped onto the site, but Spitty doesn't seem fully aware of that. It doesn't look like he's completely heard that, and Nork is still biding his time. Spitty caught off guard. Nork pulls out the Deagle, but that was definitely too close for comfort.
Those are the kind of rounds that scare me moving forward for NIP. The fact that a couple of them can come that close definitely gives me a few worries moving forward. So NIP definitely have to find a way to make those rounds a little more clean and to not get caught out as much there. But Sprout 5-2 up on the board. It will be a couple of Deagles now across the board. So it is a round that NIP should be picking up pretty smoothly. We'll see. They have a chance, Alex, to try and rectify some of the problems and let this economy really get some leg room. It hasn't really looked that solid throughout this game, and Nock, he'll miss the first shot, but DreamHack sprinting and hopping, trying to get back towards the secret stairs. And the kill from Nock will eventually come through. The follow-up elsewhere as well from Hampers. So this round's off to a pretty bad start for Sprout, and probably should continue this way.
Oh, that was a team flash onto Snatchy. Not the best. They were trying to pop down the vent, get the bomb down. Not allowed, though. Nip with a clean round win. So after a strong start for Sprout, Nip start to come back into this one. Klopski sticking with the MP9 as well. Interested to see where he takes that gun. Sprout, though, back to the AKs. And I think at this point, Dinko, this is where I'd like to see them just go for the outside smokes, try and get down secret early, and just see what Nip's response is. Because some teams really struggle to figure out those rotations. So that's what I prefer Sprout to do in this round. They haven't really done that too much so far in this game. It looks like Sprout disagree with me, Dinko. They're just going to chill and lobby.
Who would ever do that, Alice? Who would ever disagree with you? Fools. Oh, well. At the moment, Sprout just setting up utility. He'll be put in place, and well, Dennis has taken a little bit off the top, and that's the bomb down. A second shot from Nuke. That is nice. Now he can fall back. He also has Twist if they needed a fallback plan, but there is no fallback plan needed when Nuke's on the op. It seems he's done everything, and he might just continue to do so. A third kill for Nuke, looking for a 4K. And they're going to continue to give him opportunities. And finally, he's taken down by Snatchy, and Twist will not do anything. So this flank from Rez actually has to pay off. And D has on 4 HP inside of the smoke. He's aware of this possibility. And he catches Rez. Somehow, like this round is flipped on its head. And it's a chance for NIP to lose the round. Hampus has caught out D-Hat. And Snatchy now needs to try and win this round in a 1 versus 1. Hampus tucked in the corner. Snatchy just swinging wide and taking the fight. He'll win it. And Sprout, they were given a terrible start to the round, but they recover.
Wow, I thought Snatchy was just going to go B there. He had the bomb. This is where Sprout go for the early play. They're just not ready for the AWP of Nuke on this angle. They've been really focusing on ramp at the start of these rounds. And that was a little disjointed to begin with. Nuke was allowed those 2 fights before the rest of the Sprout players were ready to push. I think they just weren't expecting Nuke to be able to take that aggressive angle there. And so Sprout decide it's time to take a timeout. Even in that 1v1 though, Snatchy, I don't think expected Hampus to just still be there, right? Because he was peeking onto the other side. He was looking at hell. He didn't spot Hampus to begin with, and he just assumed, well, Hampus won't be holding this close angle. He was. And yet still, it comes close. And that means that Sprout have just about got the ability to buy again in this next one. I say just about because Spiddy's had to go down to a Deagle. And this is a real swing round right here, Dinko. No one really has any money in the bank.
Double smoke towards outside. Full execute from Sprout. Nuke is hoping that he will get a chance to open up the round again. He's just asking questions of his teammates. How much do you want me to do right now? I feel like he had to shut everybody down on the ramp. We needed more from Twist. We needed more from that flank from Rez, but they just don't work it out. And now Twist, his time to rectify the problems from the last round. Can he make up for his mistakes? And while Snatchy around the corner could have been the first kill for Twist, but he's going to have to fall away.
I love that boost there for Snatchy. He got a really good chance to get the opening kill. He saw Twist wasn't ready, but Dennis not ready for Twist now. Nuke rotates over with the AWP, lands the first shot, and there aren't that many nades left for Sprout. That's going to be their biggest issue here. They have to frag onto the B site, and it's up to D-Hat and Spiddy to try and do so.
30 seconds. D-Hat and Spiddy, like you said, having to do it all in this 2 versus 4. Spiddy, he goes to the vent. He wins the fight in the deagle, but just was not in a position and wasn't ready for Hampus. D-Hat with it all to do. A 1 versus 3. And Hampus not rounding the corner just yet. D-Hat comes down to timing. Will spot the player crossing. Deploys a little bit of damage. But now he's kind of caught in decon. That smoke comes up and makes things real difficult. Can he get the lineup onto the diffuser? He's not too far off. And Hampus, he'll get it done. Oh, so close from D-Hat. One more bullet would have been enough to win the round there, or at least prevent the defuse from NIP for a little longer. And Sprout, well, we take a look at their money. It's in a weird spot. They're going to have to go with a couple of pistols moving forward into this next round. They'll be looking to try and keep as much money into that one. NIP, a chance for 5.
Finally, Sprout testing that secret position. I think you got to see the response from Nip, though. You got to see Twist is going to rotate down to the B site to begin with, and then Nuke had to plug that gap towards ramp. So you get to start to see what the rotations are like from Nip, and that's where maybe you can exploit those later on into the game, right? Maybe you know that Twist is going to rotate away from ramp, and then you can fake the outside play and try and get that timing window right. There's all sorts of potential plays. This is a potential play for DR, but Nuke is ready for it. Nice awareness from the AWPer up close. Speaking of close, Rez has also got another kill, but he's not ready for Spiddy to get that one from above him. So a gun could be recovered by Sprout here.
Nuke Or holding the cross, Twist with one under Spitty. A follow-up kill from Nuke as well. Does leave Favin and a 1v4 with a Deagle in his hands. He will turn his attentions elsewhere, but we're really clutching at straws, and Favin clutching at Plotsky's head. He takes it right off his shoulders. Now we'll be looking at 3 more. Twist, Hampus, and Nuke, the last remaining players. Favin has just picked up an M4 and has dropped to his hands. Still a little bit of time to play with here, Alex. We're not going to count him out just yet, although still very unlikely. He still has an opportunity. Comes down to this, though. He pulls the nade and rounds the corner. Nuke is going to find that. 5 rounds added to the tally from NIP. A little bit worrying towards the end there. Quite a bit of damage inflicted. And Sprout will go into this one with their buy coming back in.
Yeah, buy back in their hands. Nice to see Nuke again at the top of the board. I really feel like NIP are putting a lot of emphasis into Nuke now. Even in the pistol rounds, you're seeing him get drop P250s. You're seeing him have a lot in his hands. He's really stepped up. Campus going for this aggressive play towards Yard. This is always a scary one, though. Dennis has already caught him in the back, just not ready for the early aggression. And now Nuke will try and see if he can maybe recover this round.
Well, a man down, and it's followed up. Rez just walks in the crosshair of Favin. Oh my god, he gets a second? That's huge from Favin, and now Twist trying to hold that B bomb site. At least something will go NIP's way. But right now, it feels like it's not much more. Nuke and Twist have got to have a huge retake. And that's just unlikely. And looking at the economy, it's not really a situation where they can afford to go for this retake or even attempt an unlikely one. So it's going to be 7 rounds for Sprout out of the T side. Already looking strong and plenty more to be played in this first half. And I have to say, Alex, this is looking pretty damn solid for Sprout.
Yeah, the CT economy is going to be in trouble. I mean, sure, if you save these 2 guns, it won't be too bad. Sprout are about to get a 7-5 lead. I've got to say, Dinko, the one thing I'm always impressed with about Nuke is how clean everything is. Like, I'm surprised that Nuke is just so clean. Isn't it meant to be like an abandoned nuclear
It is.
plant?
They cleaned up before they left.
Apparently.
It's like,
you know, I've got a good question for you, Dinko, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you got, for some reason, a really bad genie who could only do chores for you for the rest of your life, he's going to do one chore for you. You get to, well, compared to other genies, it's not great. Like, with other genies, you could, like, end world hunger, you know? So this genie, all we can do is household chores for you. What's your least favorite household chore? What one are you getting him to do for you?
Probably doing the bins. So, like, the whole process of going to the bin.
Doing the bins?
Tying the bag, and then bringing it down to the bin yard. I feel like that is just such a process that I wish I never had to do, especially because there's a food bin and it stinks, and I would just never want to do that again.
Oh, you live in an apartment, don't you?
I do, so...
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I've realized that is one chore that I never thought about, and now it's the worst thing in the world.
Dude, the one that annoys me, I don't know why. It's hanging up washing. I don't know why, but it just annoys me so much. It's so tedious, man. Yeah. And I always mess it up somehow. Like, I'm just really bad at doing it. I don't know why.
I tried to do it. I don't do it anymore. Leave the girlfriend. She does that stuff, and I do the bins. It's
You've got your girlfriend to do it for you. I've got my mum to do it for me. We're fine.
We're fine. We
really live it up to human beings.
The baby casters live it up to the name, and well, 7-5 on the board. Sprout. They have got the AK-47s out in play, and Twist, he'll try and do something with his AK. But it's Hampus who might just find their first kill here. Spitty, shoulder bits, and well, Hampus not landing the shot. Neither of them connecting anything. And this round's a bit of a non-starter, a round that he hasn't got going just yet. But Sprout getting themselves into more advanced positions, taking more and more map control. Very shortly, we will get to see a couple of battles become between NIP and Sprout, because NIP in this approach have actually given up a lot. Sprout have pretty much the whole map to play with.
His flanks from Dihar haven't been too successful so far, though. Nip have normally been ahead of him. This time, though, he's getting all the way into hell. And as you said, Nip have given up a lot of map control. And because of that, they're pushing into lobby. They're taking some ground back, but Faven is ready for it. Really nice reactions again from him to get that kill. Oh, he's not going to get away safely, though. Faven's in trouble. He's actually found a second kill there, but he's still trapped. And Nuke has him locked in. Faven still alive. Diha's now on the flank. It's all gone a bit crazy, Dinko, but it's Nuke, the only man alive, left alone. What a weird round, but it's one that Sprout are going to be winning.
This start has been pretty weird for NIP. I feel like a couple of these individuals have not really been firing. When I say a couple, I mean everybody apart from Nuke. He literally has double the kills of the teammates on the rest of his team. If you put a head-to-head, Plopsky, Hampers, Twist, the rest, they've all got 8 kills right now. And they should have had a lot more. They've had plenty of opportunities where they should have had a lot more than what they've got right now. Nuke is the player out of the break. Clearly, it's done a lot of good work for him, you know? He's been able to mentally reset coming back into this. He's focused up. He's been looking solid straight off the bat. He's had a good few moments, even in the first series against Sprout. But in this decider game, you want to see NIP coming out swinging with the individuals. We said that's something that improved for them the last time around. Has it really, though, Alex? Because right now, I'm not seeing that.
First timeout taken by Nip, and I think it is about time for it. I mean, yeah, like Nuke is getting kills. That's all well and good. I think he's been having a good game, but some of the other spots haven't been as strong. And in that round especially, that's the first time we really got to see Sprout, I think, outposition Nip. In a lot of the earlier rounds, it was more, some of those individuals missing. But that's a really good sign for Sprout that they're also now starting to get some of those flanks going, starting to really make Nip uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you look at the head-to-head between kills from Sprout and NIP, it actually looks better for NIP across the board, right? But it's the fact that, okay, they're getting kills, but they're not getting the round wins. Clearly something fundamentally is wrong. And NIP have had a couple of exits, a couple of rounds where they should have held onto the ramp, a couple of moments where the positions have just been weak. And Sprout just proving you don't always need the most kills to get the wins, especially on that T side. And speaking of kills, they've opened things up with a Molotov kill on Hampus. This round should be a 9th for Sprout, no problem, but we'll see what Nuke can do. He is the danger man. He's the player that needs to show up. And I thought there was a wall in which he gets a collateral there. He doesn't get a single kill. And that will be the case for everybody on NIP. It is a clean round from Sprout across the board and a 9th added to the tally as we head into the last round of the first half.
Be very nice if Nip could at least get one more from this CT side. It still wouldn't be great, but it would at least be reasonable for them. The other thing with Nip is, looking at their recent results on this map, their win percentage looks bad, but they're losing a bunch of close games. 16-14 to Fnatic, 15-19 against FaZe, 13-16 against Mouth. It's been a bunch of close losses for them, so they'd love to see if they can get this last round on the board. Sprout are already down Secret, though, and that causes a rotation down from Hampus. He's going to arrive in time, and he's going to get the first kill, looking for more, but not going to happen. Sprout landing some good shots.
Fantastic shots, just cracking up in the round. Sprout, they're looking for 10 out of the T side. This is just a disaster for NIP. This map has not been good for them. We knew coming into this one, though, Alex, that there were going to be weaknesses. And I think you bring up the point very well. That Sprout have started to outposition NIP. They have started to look much more comfortable on this map. And we've seen that. A couple of misfires from NIP on this defensive side. A couple of setups not really panning out. But they've turned this round around. They've got a man advantage suddenly. And Plopsky trying to hold the push from Decon. Twist somehow goes down there. As soon as the player drops, Twist thinks he has to make a play, and in doing that, slightly overcommits, massively overcommits, and out is just Rez, left in a 1 versus 2, looking for the retake. He has no kit, but both players are extremely low in HP.
Sneaking up towards the window. One of them is open for him, so he doesn't have to make noise. That's going to help a lot. Snatchy's still got the AWP on the site, though, and Red still looking to sneak in, but he's not ready for Spiddy. 10-5 lead for Sprout at the half. They are going to be very happy with that. Sprout with every chance to close this one out after the break. Well, Nuke may be top of the scoreboard, but Nip are not on top of this game right now, Dinko. 10-5 down. This pistol round is going to be very important for them.
Really important, and Twist has got it off to a good start, but they all try to go out the door at the same time, and that just cost them a second, and that's where the bomb goes down. Oh no, NIP, what a nightmare round this is. Sprout just shutting them down piece by piece, but it's a 2 versus 2. They've managed to claw it back. Plopsky holds for the drop. I feel like Favin gets a little bit overexcited there, thinking they're going to fully commit to the lower bomb site. And in fact, it has slowed right down, and look at Nuke's position. He was outside. Gone up towards heaven. He's got a decent spot for this.
I love that Nuke's playing the flank here when he's the man without the Kevlar. You want to have the chance to get a free kill from behind. You don't want to have that aim punch affect you. Spiddy has just moved away, though. He almost got caught in the back, but now Nuke would have to make noise dropping down. Plopsky coming up the vents. Uh-oh, the fight is so awkward, but somehow Spiddy loses it. Plopsky is going to get onto the A site, and now Dihar has to try and save the day.
How Spitty lost that aim, Joel? He had everything going for him. That's just a blunder. What? Nonetheless, it's D-Hat trying to find a way back into the round for Sprout. This should have been there. Spitty played it to perfection. He turned it into 1 versus 1, and D-Hat, out of options, dives off the top of heaven. And, well, Nuke and Plopsky able to pull it back. I have to say, Sprout had that one in the bag. NIP kind of fumbled it. They got their initial kill, then they all try and walk out the door at the same time. The flashbangs completely bamboozling them. It costs them crucial seconds, and in doing so allows the CTs to have a better angle to fight the vent cross, and they end up dropping the bomb. It's just when Favin makes the overcommit down into his vent, you can see Plopsky was just ready for that. NIP don't really get panicked, right? They slow it down, they think about their options, and they make it work.
A Nova.
Yeah,
Whenever I buy this gun, Dinko, I dink them and I never kill them. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I don't buy it. So
that's probably the smarter option. Honestly.
Yeah, that is. Twist. Oh no. I don't know if that's 4x3 or just the smoke not really allowing him to spot out D-Hat there. So that is 1 kill for Sprout. No, NIP. I'm starting to get worried for them again. Rez. Yep, that's the right call. Just get out of there. Go up the ladder. Oh, NIP. This is not the start they would have been looking for. They're a man down. So much damage done to the CT side, but they've already lost too many players in this attacking side at this point. They're going to figure out a way back into this, but look at the reposition back at CT spawn. We've got 1 player playing all the way back. Does Plopsky expect that? It seems like he's going to be clearing it. He seems to be aware of this possibility, but he does have a scout, and he's going to hit the shot. Hampus falls, and look at the flank.
Yeah, now Dennis is behind them, and this timing could not be better for him. They were watching the flank, but they looked away just as he comes in. And oh, Dennis, the patience game pays off. Favin ends up getting the final kill, played perfectly between them. And Nip are going to be so frustrated with that round.
Oh, that's just a disgusting round. You'll just want to forget about that one if you're an NIP player and fan and anybody with any sort of involvement, because that was just disgusting. D-Hack crosses early. He goes beyond the smoke. He takes that early kill. And then the aggression coming in from Favin. He doesn't overcommit this time. He gets that initial kill. Then he tucks back at the door. They don't overextend. They don't give away any of the advantages they've fought so hard to get because of that NIP crumble. Twist will try and pick up some early success for NIP into round number 18, a round that they will desperately need to try and do some damage to the economy here. Because if Sprout get the economy game going, they look solid into the first gun round. They've got so many rounds at this point, they're starting to feel very comfortable, especially on this defensive side. And that's a nice shot from Snatchy. Rez decapitated towards outside, his head rolls across the floor. And Snatchy is hungry for another one, but he's going to have to fall back.
Oh, Plopsky gets up close with the dig, just spamming away, lands the headshot. And now Snatchy, who is low on health, has to fall back. So Sprout put under quite a lot of pressure here. Oh, Hampus comes so close to that kill. Snatchy now falling all the way back, down the ramp even. Really not looking too good for Sprout here. 2 players low on health. They've got to make sure they don't let this round slip away from them. Twist has opened up the door, but he's got no backup. He's got the players from Heaven now arriving, but Favin turns on to the second. Good kills from Favin, making it a third. Finally, Hampus puts him down, but it might be too little too late. Hampus has got 3 different angles to deal with. He's not going to deal with any of them. Spitty gets the timing right. But that was all about Favin. He made the difference there.
Yeah, Favin's had a couple of rounds now where he has been the X factor for Sprout. Let's just see it out all again. Favin, this position has been very strong for him. We've seen him in this round and the previous, delivering from this exact spot. Of course, coming into this round, you didn't expect much from NIP with the Deagle. So Sprout, we're looking down the barrel of the 12th round nonetheless. And now they're looking at 13.
It's really nice seeing Sprout play so well without Deha being the real standout as well. In some of those earlier days. Yeah, he was having to do a lot on the first day, but now it's all changed, and Snatchy finding a good shot. This one should be relatively easy for them. Already the first 2 kills on the board. Rez switching it out, gets the P250 and quickly gets a kill with it. So that's nice. But it's only an MP9 that can be recovered. Snatchy still looking for these shots. It's a bit awkward. He's been missing some of these scout shots, but now he's just going to back away.
Yesterday, he has still managed to finish on top for the team against North, but they did lose that series 2-1. Snatchy had some moments yesterday as well. Just looking at individual performances on maps, Deha, he's pretty average, I have to say. It was that performance at Dust 2 that really carried him above the rest. The other 2 maps, he was very, very quiet. I think that kind of just shows how influential Deha's performances are to Sprout's success, though, usually. We take a look at Deha, we say he's probably the standout player for this team. And in their wins, he's always near the top. This could be one of the maps where they win without him near the top. Like you said, that's a very good sign for Sprout, showing that they don't just rely on one player.
Especially because if you look at the ratings in the last 3 months, Favin is actually not that far behind Deha. But in this tournament, he's been struggling a little bit. He's barely been above Spitty and Dennis. He's not been one of those star players for the squad. Good to see him getting back on track, and good to see Snatchy landing that shot to begin with. Getting away down the ramp, getting back to safety. He can continue to hold this angle towards the B-bomb site. And oh, Snatchy somehow gets that kill. Hampus had the timing right, but Snatchy still reacts in time. 3 on the hold for Snatchy, but Deha's been traded. Plopsky, though, 1v3, doesn't even have the bomb in his hands right now. He's got to go back for it, and that's a lot of time wasted.
I have to say, this round, if they somehow lose it, Snatchy's allowed to slap them. This is kind of ridiculous. Plopsky going back to ramp. Plopsky would have to be unbelievable to win this. He's not going to expect the second player. And Spitty will take him down 14-6. What a round from Snatchy. This guy, when he is stuck in those positions where you expect nothing out of him, he can sometimes just deliver beauty. Some magic from that AWP. And just the shots in this round, sick stuff. I don't know what was better, that final kill or the second. That's just brilliant overall from Snatchy. He set up Sprout for a round that it was pretty much impossible to lose after they made a huge mistake. And NIP, can't blame them. They're going for attack timeout. They're starting to feel the pressure coming into this one. As Sprout, if they win this, which is extremely likely, they're up on map points. So NIP, they're going for the decision to play for overtime, Alex. And I feel like it's too far gone now. I think just as a realistic point of view, it looks like Sprout have done enough.
It's definitely getting to that point, isn't it? Especially because this half buy isn't even that great.
Yeah, I just want to set up this storyline. If Sprout are in a position where they should just close this out now, that's the realistic thing. They should do that. But to set up how crazy it would be for NIP to pull this back, I just want to say how unlikely it is for them to pull this off. It's almost surely done for Sprout. They have looked good on the CT side.
Snake from Snatchy.
Oh.
Yeah, Spitty's going to spray the last man down. Couple of kills from Nip, but the A play really relies on those early trades. If you can get those early kills, maybe you have a chance. Nork's bought an SG, Dinko. I don't know about this. Even I'm not buying the SG anymore. I mean, it can be good at range.
Clearly, Nork needs a little intervention from Hugo, Harry, and I. I'm going to sit him down at the table. We're going to tell him all about the AK-47. In no time, he'll be onto that weapon.
Well, we'll see what he can do with it. I hope he doesn't have to take a close range fight. That's where the SG sucks. Right now, he's long range against the AWP. And Snatchy has now heard that SG firing off some shots. Spitty's still playing up close, though, and Hampus has to be aware of this angle. Dennis is also here to help. This is a hefty outside stack from Sprout.
yeah, a lot of players towards outside. And luckily for them, NIP have a couple too, and Hampus just walking out into the open. Was not aware of that peak. And Spitty taking Plopsky as well. The ramp is open, Alex, but they've got all the other map control, right? That's the problem. We've also got Dennis down on the lower side, and he's covering this off, but he cannot win the battle. So that does open the round up yet again.
Twist getting into this advanced position as well, making sure the double doors are clear so they can get that bomb planted. Still haven't seen that SG come through just yet, but Sprout up a man on this retake attempt. They have some utility as well. They have some nades, and as long as they stick together, they should be able to trade out Twist here.
Well, that Molotov deployed right in front of him, burning him down. He will fall. Barbecue Twist. No, it's not on his own, and he will fall as well. Sprout will take away the map, and a very solid showing here at map number 1. I don't feel like NIP got into it at all. Individuals misfiring, NIP just looking rough overall, and Sprout with a very one-sided victory here on Nuke.
Yeah, very one-sided. That